All right, we are live. Hello, everybody, to Alibaba.com audience, Helium 10 audience that's here. We're gonna have a cool webinar. The funny thing, I always like on our podcast too. We talk about funny things as well and keeping it real. We came on here at the show, and all three of us guests were wearing black, and so we're like, "Come on, man, you're wearing this other crazy color. You're trying to be different." And so she's like, I have some FOMO. I'm gonna go change to black right now. So here's our host of the show, Min. How's it going? The
Good.
black shirt looks good on you.
That was fast.
Here we go.
was
Yeah,
super
now
fast.
so good to have everyone on board. Thanks so much, Bradley, for hosting the show. So how is everyone doing today?
We're
Good. Very
Good.
good.
Awesome.
Excellent. So Channelle, you're calling in from New York?
Yes, I'm actually in Philadelphia.
Oh, nice. Very nice. How is Philadelphia? Is it cold
That's
right
pretty
now?
nice.
That's
Yes,
good.
I've been here for 10 years now, so.
Well, I went to Penn State, so I used to go to Philadelphia all the time. Yeah.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. Sounds good. And then
Did you have cheesesteak over there a lot?
Yeah,
And
so
you got-
I
is
do,
that what
but I'm a
Philly's-
picky eater, so I don't get it with all the extra toppings and stuff.
Well, okay, enough talk about food. I'm on a diet, so like it's already making my stomach grumble here.
and Rich, you're calling in from Atlanta.
I'm in
So
Atlanta.
what's going on there? I heard it's like a cool place, like a trendy and cool place for the kids.
Oh, I love Atlanta. It's like the new Hollywood right now. But
Oh, really?
right now we're dealing with we wake up, we put on a whole sweatsuit, and then by lunchtime we're walking out with shorts and a tank top. So
Oh, that's awesome. And I know Bradley is calling in from South California, right? And then it's like a storming there.
Yeah, this is like very strange. Like it was in the 40s this morning and raining like all night. This is like completely not typical San Diego weather. I don't know what's going on.
That's very, very weird. And I'm calling in from Scottsdale, Arizona, and it's sunny as always. So before we get started in 10 minutes, I would love to hear some interesting stories. So Channelle, I know you own so many business and you're also a coach for moms. Like I'm a mom. You are the founder for Millionaire Moms Club. So what do you tell us about it, and what do you usually coach the moms?
Yeah, so I've had the Millionaire Moms Club for going on 3 years now. And so moms have been reaching out to me over and over asking, like, how do you run businesses with kids? A lot of single moms, a lot of moms that don't have like disposable incomes and things of that nature. So they're trying to figure out how they can start a business and what businesses are kind of like mom friendly, right? Because we may not have 12 hours a day to work on our businesses and things like that. So I kind of guide them and give them a blueprint on what type of businesses they can start. A lot of them have online shops. A lot of them do drop shipping and things of that nature, kind of businesses that you can just kind of plug and play. You don't have to physically work to make money. And that's the goal, to get all my students, all my mentees to get to the point where they're not exchanging their time for money, so that they're able to eventually leave their 9-to-5s and be home with their kids full time, but still have an income on the side. So that's our main mission.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, I totally get it. It's kind of challenging sometimes with the times, and need some more flexibility. And it's the new gig economy, right? The sharing your time and doing something whenever you want. So I think Bradley, you work with a lot of Amazon sellers, and the Amazon sellers, it's just like they just stay behind their computers and do whatever they want. It's kind of similar, right?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I think people want independence and they don't want to work for the man. I don't like working for the man. From before, I used to work for like food companies and stuff, and so that was what first attracted me to sell on Amazon, because it's one of the best ways to be able to kind of like start your own business and instantly have like this wide audience. And so I deal with people all the time who, it's amazing to hear their stories. They might have just, they're working, 20 hours every couple days, like 80 hours a week. And and they just like, hey, I'm going to try this online thing. And then they go to Alibaba.com, find a product, put a couple $1,000s in, and then they just grow it over time. Some people grow fast, like people, I know somebody who found a product on Alibaba.com and within a couple months was doing $40,000 a month. Other people, they just do it kind of like as a side hustle. But the point is like when you're your own boss and you're selling your own things, like you control how you want to live. And so it's like it's kind of like a freedom, I guess, to a lot of people out there. So it's really really cool to see people's success.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what we usually focus on are small, medium business, and a lot of them start with a gig, right? A side hustle. And they will hustle into very successful entrepreneur and business owners like Rich. And you started as a graphic designer when you were like really young, right?
Right. I started when I was about 13, 14 years old. I had early access to a computer, so I got into the graphic design of things. I sold probably like my first graphic design was a nightclub ad. That was the first time I made $50 when I was about 13 or 14 years old. I can't remember. It's so far back. I'm 32 now. But, just getting in from that, I didn't know graphic design would take you such a long way, especially when it comes to like, sourcing products and product development. There's so much that graphic design helps you whenever it comes to the e-commerce space. So, I can get really deep about it, but, we could probably save that for a few minutes. But yeah, I started from at a young age, and hats off to Channelle, because when I really got deep into e-commerce, I was a stay-at-home dad. So I love what she's doing.
You're a dad too?
Yeah, I got 2 kids.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's awesome. And I know Bradley have kids too, right? How many do you have?
I have 2 kids.
2 kids.
Well.
And I met with one of your daughter who speaks Chinese too, which is very
wow.
You speak Japanese, and like what else do you speak?
I speak English and Spanish mainly.
Okay.
I used to speak Japanese, but my brain is not big enough. So when I learned Spanish, like I would learn a word of Spanish and I would forget a word of Japanese. And then I'm half Filipino, so like I try to speak some Tagalog, but mainly English and Spanish are my languages.
And so Channelle and Rich, last time I met with Bradley, it was at Helium 10's Sell and Scale Summit. And Bradley was actually the instructor for a Zumba class. And it was like 7 a.m. in the morning. And my colleague Jess and we promised we would go, but it was just too early. And
yeah, but hey, like I can understand not being in Vegas and not wanting to wake up at 7, but there was like 50 people who still came, and I thought you were my friends, but like I guess we weren't that tight. We weren't that close.
The big boss from like Amazon or Walmart showed up as well to support you.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, maybe next time we just do an online Zumba and invite you to host.
Good.
So Channelle, coming back to you. So what hobbies do you have as a owner for multiple business, and also, you coach moms as well? What do you do to help you manage stress and pressure in life or work?
Mm-hmm. So I absolutely love doing yoga. So I try to do yoga 3 times a week. I also try to go to the gym a few times a week. I don't really like going to the gym, but it does help relieve stress. But I really, really do like yoga.
That's awesome. What about you, Rich?
Oh man, y'all putting me on the spot. I have a full gym in the house. I got, I got a squat rack, I got a trimmer, I got everything. And then, I'll probably work out like 3-4 times out of the week. But it's like, when I get lazy, I have 0 excuses. So I try my best.
Awesome. And initially, when I saw your background, I thought it was a gym. Gonna go there and do some push-ups. We actually have a lot of buyers on Alibaba.com. They're like a gym chains, and one of them they're doing like a Axe. They throw Axe. It's like a national chain in US and California. Another one, they do like a gym chain, and they buy everything, equipment, supplies and t-shirts and apparels and all that as well. So it's really interesting that when I talk to customers, I see all these interesting stories. So I think we have 5 more minutes before our official start. I think hopefully everyone can share kind of interesting story of your failure. So usually, people see you as very successful, but I'm 100% sure you have been through some challenges and mistakes in your career. So, I will start with maybe Bradley. You want to start? I've done so many things. We'll talk about that in the formal introduction, but like share some stories, like how you come through a mistake or failure.
Well, yeah, I like I said, I didn't like working for the man, and so that having to do that almost was a failure in itself. And then when I first tried to get into entrepreneurship, when I was like probably like 19, 20, it was during the first Fast and Furious. I'm aging myself, but that was when the first Fast and Furious movies came out, and I was totally into that whole scene about the car parts and stuff. And I was working for this Korean company. But then when there was like this kind of recession, people weren't buying body kits and carbon fiber spoilers and stuff, and that business kind of failed. And another time I failed was even when I was first getting into Amazon. We started dealing with like hoverboards, the ones that you kind of step on.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when they started burning people's houses down, not ours, but then Amazon banned it. And then like we had sold like in 1 week, like $150,000 worth, which was crazy for us. That was like huge money.
Yeah.
But then Amazon just like refunded everybody who we had sold to and whoever was selling hoverboards. And, but they didn't even have the customers send their product back to us. So it was just like 100% lost money. And so that was like a huge L that we took right there when we just lost 6 figures just because Amazon decided that hoverboards were not safe. So those are probably a couple of my big L's that I took.
Wow. Yeah, that is a very, very painful experience. So Rich, your story?
For sure. I mean, I definitely had some similar stories to Bradley. Like I was a real big private label seller at one point. I've sold hoverboards in that phase too. And that's one of those big risks. It's just like fidget spinners. It's like, should I get in? Should I not? And then, but we sold hoverboards primarily on eBay. We didn't have that big burn. But most of my L's just really came from doing one too many things. So it's like being a creator and being a creative. Like I jumped into videography. I've done everything in the design space. I've jumped into production and printing. Business cards, flyers, brochures. I had that business. I had what else? We did a lot of cinematography. We did a lot of commercials. I think it was at the point where I was so young, I didn't realize I had one too many talents, and I was burning myself away by trying to do too many things instead of focusing on one. And then probably like when I landed on apparel, it probably took me a lot further.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Channelle, do you sell hoverboard as well?
No, I actually don't.
Yeah, so just one quick maybe 1.5 minute, like some kind of experience learning to share.
So for me, it was with my first business was a little boys clothing line. So I went to college for fashion design. So I figured I'm just going to start this little boys clothing line, and I'm just going to sew everything myself, right? I know how to sew, and that's the way I'm going to go. But I didn't think through how burnt out I would get from making each garment myself, and that I kind of set a ceiling for myself. So now I'm not able to scale. I'm only one person. I can only make so many garments a day. So that kind of put a limit on me. So, and not only that, I got tired of sewing. I used to love sewing, and then I went from loving it to hating it. So I'm like, I need to figure something out. I need to get a manufacturer because I won't be able to keep going on like this. And even to this day, I hardly sew from that experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely, you cannot do everything, right? You have to outsource some of the, tasks. And for a lot of the business owners, they focus on selling and marketing and branding. So sourcing is not really on top of their priorities. It's also take a lot of time. So hopefully we at Alibaba.com can help the buyers with some of the tasks and make it easier for them to focus on what they actually specialize in. So I think we have maybe holding on 1 minute. We are officially starting in 1 minute. So Jess, you want to just start the video?
March Expo, Alibaba.com's annual month-long promotional event that offers new products and services from new trends and insights, where you can explore new opportunities, lower costs, and source with certainty. Be the first to access new product launches and get a sneak peek into the latest breakthrough products via live streams from 40 standout suppliers across 10 key industries. Deep dive into over 200 leading innovation showcases and experience cutting-edge production techniques through live streams and videos, so you can bring your products to life via better and newer solutions.
Hello and welcome to the Buyer Growth Academy. And this is the March Expo special edition. And from Alibaba.com's Buyer team, I'm your host, Ming Yang. And today I'm super excited to host 3 special guests today. The theme is helping small, medium business to be competitive and thrive in 2023. So let me start with a quick introduction for the guest. So let's start with Channelle.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Channelle Halsey, and I am the founder of the Millionaire Moms Club. I actually have a couple of businesses. So I have a little boys clothing line and event space, and the Millionaire Moms Club, where I coach moms to grow their online stores to 6 and 7 figures.
Excellent. Thank you. Rich, you want to do a quick introduction?
For sure. My name is Rich. I'm an entrepreneur primarily in the apparel space. I have a clothing brand, After Hours. I have the consulting business side for my personal brand, which is Hustle Ninjas, and the YouTube channel. And I also have a few marketplace businesses, and I have a big history of just e-commerce and just diving into entrepreneurship at a young age.
Excellent. Thank you. Now we come to Bradley, our old friends. How are you doing, Bradley? Give us an introduction of your core introduction, not like the big career.
Not my whole life story. My name is Bradley. For those who don't know, I work at Helium 10. I'm the director of training here. I've been an entrepreneur myself for over 20 years. And at Helium 10 is a software company where we help people start selling on Amazon.com and Walmart.com. And it's really great to inspire a lot of people. And I get inspiration from all the great stories I hear of people who are really crushing it by selling online.
Thank you so much. So all the guests today, they are serial entrepreneurs, they're business coach, and they bring a lot of insights of industry and what's going on in the retail world. So we'll get to that. So also today is the opening day of the March Expo on Alibaba.com. So please click on the link in the comment and check out our events. We have millions of newly released products, 90-day guarantee of the lowest cost, and also a lot of suppliers are live streaming their showroom and production line. So this is really cool. So we will share more details about the March Expo later. So let's get to our speakers. So I will start with Channelle. So the Millionaire Mom Clubs, that's super interesting. So I'm always curious. So what are the biggest pain points you hear from your students?
So the biggest pain points I hear from my students is, number one, not having enough time, right? Because most of them are moms, so there's only so many hours in the day. So they don't have enough time or don't feel like they have enough time to start a business, to grow a business. So they want some sort of blueprint that they can follow. And then they also don't have a lot of disposable income, right? So they want to know, all right, how do I know that this business, this online store is going to succeed? How do I know that these products I put in here are going to sell? So they want to know that if they invest their money, they're going to get a return on their investment, because they don't really have a ton of money to just waste or burn on testing different things. So they want to make sure that they have a system set up and products that are actually going to sell in their stores.
Definitely. So I totally agree. So making the product choice and choosing the right product to get into is very critical. So you are the expert on the subjects. How do you choose the product you want to launch?
So for me, I try to make it really simple and ask my audience, right? I try to let my audience guide me, right? I have a specific target audience that I'm serving. In this instance, for this business, I'm serving moms. I also have a little boys clothing line. So that's specifically for little boys. So before I'm even launching the store, I'm growing my audience, right? I'm starting an Instagram page. I'm asking questions. Hey, do you guys like this style or this style, to get feedback? So by the time I launch my store, now when I'm sourcing the products for it, I know, like, okay, these are the types of products that my audience likes. These are the types of photos that they engage with the most. These products are trending on social media. And now I kind of have like a checklist to go off of, instead of me just saying, all right, I think they'll like this bow tie. I think they'll like this shirt. So I'm going to throw it in the store and see what happens, or try to push it out to them, when I'd rather just attract my target audience, see what they want, where the holes are in the market, where their pain points are and then provide that for them.
Yeah, definitely. So that's a really good suggestion. So Rich, I'll come to you for the same question. So you launch your own brand and product line. So how do you choose your product ideas?
For sure. So, I mean, like when it comes to that, it has to do with a lot of product research. A lot of people come on here, especially in the apparel space, selling what people think are popular, what they like themselves. Like, you know, if it was up to me, or I guess anybody on this panel, we would have all sold like a black t-shirt. But not everybody likes just solid black. And Bradley could tell you more about this. When it comes to product research, you know, you can go on any type of marketplace and they have data of what people are actually purchasing. So, you know, just basing like what your design and what your product is going to be based off of data is going to take you a whole lot further by doing product research. A lot of these big box retailers aren't printing thousands of t-shirts without doing the product research first. So most of the pain points just come from most new business owners trying to design a product or a piece of apparel based on what they think is popular.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. So Bradley, so now you work with Helium 10, and this is such a great tool suite for a lot of things, and one of them is product research. So tell us, like, how would you advise the especially new users or new starters to use your tool to do product research?
Yeah, it's so important what Rich was saying is following the data. You know, like it's not like, you know, if you're becoming a blogger or a TikToker or something like that, you should follow your passion, you know, like, and that's how you'll be successful. But when you're trying to sell on online marketplaces, it's not always about your passion, but you have to go where there's high demand, but low competition. You know, you could find something that's, you know, looks like people are making millions on Amazon or on Walmart or something like that. But if it's saturated, and it's, you know, there's too much competition, you're not going to have success. So it's a kind of like weighing the two things of trying to find the demand and then where there's holes in the competition. So, like, for example, in Helium 10, we have a tool that's called Black Box, and so I would go in there and I found so many products that I actually currently sell myself on Amazon using this method, where I go and like, "Hey, show me." I'll be like, "Hey, Helium 10, show me a keyword that's searched for at least 5,000 times a month." But at the same time, the search results, like, most of them have, like, less than 100 reviews, or maybe most of them aren't using their images correctly, or kind of signs that there's room for me to, like, get in there and steal some of their sales. You can't just, like, hop in and go to the Amazon bestseller list and say, "Hey, alright, I'm gonna see what these top sellers are. I'm just gonna go ahead and stick my label on something like this, and I'm gonna make $1,000,000 myself." That's maybe you could have done that, like, 5, 6 years ago, but
Yeah, definitely. I think online retail is a combine your passion with your data-driven decisions, right? So that really help you choose the right products. So once you decide what you want to sell, you think you don't have even evidence it's going to sell well. How do you go about finding the manufacturers or suppliers who can help you make it? So
Well, you still talking to me? Or
yes, go ahead.
yeah, well, I mean, that's a no-brainer. We use Alibaba.com. People have been using, you know, we have tens of thousands of customers, and probably I would say the majority of them, the way they found their first suppliers was using Alibaba.com. And the important thing is that you go to different countries for different you know, specialties. Like, for example, almost 100% of my products, or maybe 90% of my products, are manufactured in China, and of course Alibaba.com is great for that. But then, you know, sometimes there's different specialties in some countries. Like in Mexico, the maybe it's better if you're gonna do a ceramic product, maybe you should source it from Mexico. You know, maybe if you're doing some special kinds of textiles, you know, perhaps, actually Pakistan might be better, to find a supplier. And then Vietnam, there's also some great suppliers. And the cool thing about, you know, using Alibaba.com is you can filter out for whatever country you want. But that's like one of the most important aspects that people shouldn't rush to, is finding the right supplier. And it's not just, oh, just go to Alibaba.com and find the first supplier that shows up in your feed. No, you got to like really know how to negotiate with them, and you know, get samples and do your due diligence and homework before you choose the supplier you're going to go with.
Yeah, I can't agree more. A lot of times, especially for new startups, they think they come to Alibaba.com and with one click or a few clicks, they can find the perfect supplier. But that's just not the case, right? It takes time to learn. You need to understand your own core products and concepts, and you look for the supplier who can make the things for you. So, Rich, how do you usually go about finding the supplier for your business?
Yeah, I mean, we're really straightforward about it. Like, we even type in words like we're not even familiar with. Like, I know last season, like the raw hem hoodies were popular on the very bottom, like the cutoff hoodies. We didn't even know what to type in, so we just type in cutoff hoodies and we reach out to each and every single supplier. And we've realized like some suppliers, they leave their video chat icon available. So like we even sit there and click on chat so that we can get like communication back and forth like in real time. Like I even want to go a step further. It's like that's the same way we also sell, because like on Alibaba.com, a lot of these suppliers have like live events, and if we see a particular product that we like, then we'll sit there and ask questions about it. And for the marketing aspect to someone else who may be purchasing from a supplier, that's the power of going live. You can showcase a product just like the same way that you are whenever you're purchasing from a supplier. So just being able to communicate in real time and seeing that if that's something that you're looking for and getting your questions asked, that's pretty much how we go about it.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Before the COVID, everybody goes and travels and meet with suppliers and see their showrooms and production. But during the COVID, the travel was really hard. So, and thanks for mentioning the new features we have on the platform and also on the app, the live streaming from the suppliers. We have video and conference calls and chatting functions. So we design a lot of features to make it easier for the buyers to communicate with the supplier. So coming to you, Channelle. So how do you usually work with the suppliers, and how do you choose suppliers? What are the things you look at when you're choosing suppliers?
All right, so mine's is going to be pretty similar to both Rich and Bradley, but a little bit different because I also look for manufacturers on Alibaba, right? So I'm looking for suppliers for my ready-to-made garments and everything like that I'm going to sell, like this hoodie right here. So for those, I'm just typing in exactly what I want, similar to Rich, seeing what suppliers come up. I'm always filtering for verified suppliers and suppliers with trade assurance, just to make the process a little bit easier for myself. And then I'm reaching out to them, right? I'm letting them know exactly what I'm looking for, looking at their minimum order quality, making sure that they meet all my requirements, and going back and forth with them, ordering samples. And then from there, I'm able to narrow it down, right? Okay, I like this about this manufacturer. I like this about this one. And then for the ones that I actually need to make something customized, now we have to get into, I'm sending them specs. I'm sending them pictures of a garment that I designed and saying, hey, I saw you have this button down shirt that's similar. I designed this one. Is this something that you can recreate? And again, we're going back and forth communicating. Sometimes we'll do video chat and things like that, but just trying to be as transparent as possible and communicating as much as possible. If I can send measurements and specs, I do that as well, just to make the process easier for both of us. And then for that, again, I will order the samples, see how I like the samples, we'll tweak some stuff, and we'll move forward from there. But the process is pretty similar for both.
Yeah, definitely. It takes time to learn all the tools and features and search and RFQ, etc. So hopefully we'll offer more content and educational content for the buyers to use. So I think we want to look at 2023, right? The online retail is changing, the social media is coming out. And like the best-selling items from 2 years ago is not best-selling anymore. There are always new things coming. So Bradley, I'll come to you because you do a lot of analytics with the Helium 10 tool and product research and what's trendy and all. So like you even have a best-selling, like a spooky bookshelf, right, in the home and garden category. So, I don't know if the rest of the speakers seen that. It's pretty funny. And Bradley used that as example all the time. It's very funny. And I think people buy all year round, not just the here you go. Oh, it's yeah, it's like a best-selling coffin on Amazon, I would say. So yeah. So what do you think what's going on in Amazon world, like in 2023, right? So what people are talking about, what's online retail. Yeah, so share some of your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're going to be, showing some stats on like essential versus non-essential, but that's actually something interesting that's going on. Like one thing that we look at Helium 10 is the search volume, the estimated number of times people are searching certain keywords, and then if you would drill down into different categories, like let's just take the home and garden category. What if you look at like in February of last year, which search terms for that category had the most search volume? And then compare it to like the last couple of weeks, you would see that words like are still in there, like shower curtain, office chair, and then a couple of pet related ones that kind of fall into that category. But then the other 4 or 5 or 6 out of the top 10 are kind of different. Like the ones that were there last year, like one of them was a search term was bathroom accessories and air fryer. Those like dropped out. So like bathroom accessories, like, a lot of those are kind of like, maybe some decor stuff. So maybe, people with a little bit tighter wallets, they're not buying a lot of this stuff that maybe is not really that necessary, like certain kind of decor things or fancier mini appliances like air fryers and things. So that's an interesting trend to see that. Yeah, and even our coffin shelf is not selling as much as it did in the past. So it's interesting, at least for the home and garden category, people are not getting these kind of like fluffy things as much. It's not like completely dead or anything like that, but they're just not getting it as much as the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds good. And yes, you're right. So today we're also going to show and share the insights from the Alibaba.com's 2023 sourcing strategy for SMBs. And it is the highly anticipated report that gives insight into what's trending, and the themes can really be expected across the industry and sourcing and supply chain. And so we did a lot of research with the Alibaba.com data, and we have seen some consumer spending shrinking across general market over the last year. 50% of the people say they are holding back on non-essential spending, which includes apparel categories. In apparel categories, we're seeing a year-to-year growth of 10%, under 10%, which is below the average. Comparing to some like construction, auto parts, their year-to-year growth is like 70%. So, but under apparel, we can also see some special keywords or categories actually going fast. For example, the casual clothing, right? So that's what's actually growing really fast. So, and what Channelle and Rich, you guys run apparel business as a business owners. So, what if trending words do you see, or how do you adjust to this kind of change of the preference from the consumer space?
I mean, there's always going to be change in it. Like when it comes to casual, like we found like the tapestry hoodies was popular last season. We found 5-inch shorts was popular the last summer, and it's just kind of knowing what foundation you want to print on. But just to be able to take advantage of like the ups and downs, like is being able to take. It's always the name of the game is always going to be data, and not necessarily just product research data, but having email and SMS. That way you have a foundation to all of this. And that's why it's important that whenever you sell on your own website, even if like, you're at a down point, whenever these products aren't selling as much, you really want to sell at a point where you're at least acquiring a new customer at the least for these actual particular products. And then you can go a lot further with just that alone. So, just in speaks with trends, it's not even really about being a step ahead. Sometimes it's just knowing which part of the timeline that we're in, because most of the time with fashion, we're just pretty much going back in time. Like drop shoulder tees are back popular, baggy clothes are back popular, and it's just a lot of recycled things. So it's going a step, being able to be a step ahead, but just knowing which part of the timeline that we are in.
Yeah, definitely. And also kind of what's trending on social media, right? Like TikTok, like the Amazon yoga pants, things like that will actually really take you to like a top 1 selling spot. But that may go down tomorrow, will be different keywords. So especially in fashion, everything's just changing and moving. And when you build your own brands and product designs and products, you need to make sure they're in stock, they're ready to sell. How do you respond to this just fast growing trending on social media, and make sure you respond fast and manage your purchase, right? Now, inventory strategies, purchase strategy, not overstock, and also make sure you have the stock in place.
Yeah, I mean, like the apparel game is always going to be fast paced. That's why, like, I know the supplier that you're bringing on, they have one product that we focus on a lot, which is just like a dye sublimation blank, but it's unique in general. And then like we can carry the rest of it, like, because I'm pretty sure Bradley can tell you, like, when it comes to the trends of like a marketplace, most apparel products that are popular that people can hop on are going to be like graphic design tees whenever you can change yourself. So like one product we focus on a lot is going to be like a sublimation blank that's unique, but at the same time it can be customized once we receive it in our hands.
Yeah, sounds good. Definitely. Bradley, would you agree to that?
Yeah, like you were saying, it's the apparel is so fast moving, even on Amazon. You know, like things can go viral on TikTok. I knew of there's a seller, her name is Elizabeth, and she saw last year something, I forgot what it was. I don't think it was leggings. I don't even know if I know what it is, but it was something that went viral on TikTok, and she was able to like move fastly on it, and she did something like $3 million in like 3 months, you know,
Wow.
because she was able to be one of the first ones to actually be able to launch it to the market. But then just as fast as it ramped up, it kind of like, you know, tapered off. And so, like you said, it's kind of like hard to gauge it. But then like when you do, like Rich was saying, where you bring in something that's not just going, you know, like you can bring in the material or a certain design, but then you're doing some customization. Well, if the trend changes, then you can change, you know, you can change with that, and it's not like you have to throw away everything because it's completely useless now. So that's definitely a plus, what he was saying there.
Yeah, sounds good. So Channelle, how do you decide if you're going with the trends, or you make some adjustment to it?
So pretty similar. So I try to keep a good pulse on like what's trending on things like TikTok and Instagram, because things move so fast, right? And then to keep a good pulse on what's trending this month and what trends will die down fast and what trends are here to stay, or where the cycle is of a trend. So if you can catch a trend in the beginning, then that might be something that I may try to hop on if I see some longevity in it. If I see it being a super short-term trend, then I may just leave it alone and things like that. But for me, I want to make sure that I'm staying current with what's up there, but I'm not necessarily buying things that are going to be here today and gone tomorrow. And one easy thing that I like to do for my audience is, if I see a trend that I'm thinking about hopping on, I think it may have longevity, then I'll find a supplier that can get it to me pretty quickly, right? But I'll do a pre-order or pre-sale. So I'll put the template on my website. I'll say, hey guys, you can order these pants, the trending TikTok pants, whatever are trending. I'll see how many pre-orders we get. If we sell out, then cool, let's move forward with them. If my audience is like, we're over that, we already got it, then that's something that I won't waste my time and energy on. But that's kind of a good way that I'm able to gauge it. Then I don't have to risk making a large investment, because they're paying for the goods, right? So now I know, okay, I can order 1,500 of these, I can order 2,000 of these, and it's already paid for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And you have one of the product lines, which is for the kids, right? Boys clothing line. And you build that line, and you are not really kind of seeing what other people are selling, but you think you see the value in it, you see the demand in it, so you differentiate yourself from the market. So tell us about that brand and how you kind of build your own product line that's very different in the market.
Yeah, so for that one, it's just a matter of finding holes in the market, right? Because where there's holes, there's opportunities. So after I had my son in 2014, I'm going around shopping for baby clothes, for special occasions and things like that. So like for Easter, Christmas, all those different occasions that you want to dress your kids up, right? And the girls section was always huge. There was a ton of dresses and things like that. And then when it came to the boys section, it was always boring. They were just regular plain black suits, right? And again, I went to my Instagram, I went to my audience, and I said, hey, how do you guys feel about shopping for boys' special occasion clothes? And the moms had the same problem as me. They're boring. There's no variety. The girls get all the cute stuff. They don't care about the boys. So I'm like, light bulb, this is an opportunity. So it's not just me that feels like that. So that gave me the idea to come up with different bow ties, different blazers, and different button-down shirts that really stood out. So now I don't necessarily have to worry about following a trend per se. I can look at what fabrics are good, what prints are trending, and things like that. But if the trend switches to casual or comfy, I don't necessarily have to all of a sudden come out with a casual line, right? Because that's not my brand. My brand is differentiated in this way. We're filling this hole, and that's where we stand. But definitely looking for holes in the market, because those always equal opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. So that's actually speaks to one of our research findings as well. So for non-essential categories, so one of the strategies we advise the small business is to build product differentiation, right? You build your own brand, you find your market gap, like you mentioned the gap, and then you fill that gap, and that's really one of the ways to survive and even succeed really well in this space. So I would love for the Rich to share how do you, when you're building branding and choose your product, like how do you try to differentiate yourself as well?
At the end of the day, the differentiator becomes all a part of the marketing. It's not like about what you sell, it's how you sell it. And a lot of the things that we like to do is like group our audience, our customer base into like a Facebook group or a Discord so that they have a virtual place for them to hang out. Like imagine if like, we try to put out a sustainable product and we started working with recycled polyester and whatnot. And then we started charging a little bit more and we just post on our website. That helps, like we're differentiating ourselves, like trying to be like more economically friendly for the world, but like whenever they just see that, it doesn't really help. But when we have a space for them that we can communicate and we go live in our Facebook group, our private Facebook group, where it's everyone that's a part of our actual audience, we explain to them what we're doing and why it costs them a few dollars more, then they're all a part of it. So at the end of the day, it's more than just putting out a product. It's all about building a community for your actual brand.
Definitely. And then really understand what your customers are looking for and then get feedback from them. So Bradley knows this, but I've passed small pets, and this year it's really weird. We have coyotes around like biting them. So I'm thinking like I'm gonna design a clothesline for the dogs and with the sharp needles on it. So when they bite your dog, they will like just. And I look on Amazon, actually people are selling those already. so sometimes it's hard to find the needs. So instead of just looking for something like really new, but like really understand what people are looking for and, use the tools to analyze those data. And in fashion, I think like Bradley, correct me if I'm wrong, like on Amazon, even Amazon have their own private label brands on fashion line, and they also have like a designer clothes, like from premium designer clothes to like a fast fashion, right? So today there are a lot of fast fashion brands as well. So would you think, like, how do you see that in this category, what's going to work out better in this kind of inflation potential possible recession? Would people downgrade their spending and look for more casual or less expensive clothesline, or what's going to happen? I would love to hear the expert opinions.
Yeah, it depends. You can go either way. And so what you had talked about earlier about differentiation, that's one of the things that kind of like makes you recession proof. But if you have something non-essential, you could still crush it online, because there's always going to be a market for a sub niche for even unique products like coffin shelves or certain apparel or whatever the case is. Maybe it's not the highest search, but you focus your marketing on that target audience a little bit more, as opposed to just trying to throw a wider net like you can when just everybody's shopping online. Just throw a wide net and then catch all kinds of like impulse sales. You're not going to get a lot of impulse buys when people are keeping like a little bit tighter control over their wallets. And so, like we had said, differentiating yourself, like looking at what people complained about other competitors' products and then fixing that and then showing it. But then I always tell people too, don't always feel when competition is getting tighter or it's harder to get sales, that lowering the price or trying to compete with Amazon, for example, like Amazon brands, is always like the way to go. Sometimes raising the price is the way to go. I know of one seller, Anne, and she's actually in like the baby category, like baby apparel and other things. And her goal for every product she launches, she actually puts herself as the highest price. Now she's got very high quality products, so that's of course, important to have high quality. You can't charge a high price if it's lower quality, but there are certain categories and sub niches where the perception is more important. Like for baby products, you don't want to be like, oh, I'm a cheap parent. I'm going to get these cheap things. I'm going to save money and then give my kid like this thing that might break or something. No, you're like, hey, I'm looking for the best for my kids, or people who are really, like yourself, who are really, really take care of their dogs. Like I want to look for the best. So you actually can have a niche for yourself if you try and market yourself as one of the kind of highest price one. So there you can go both ways, and it's not like one right or wrong way, but you just got to be able to move with the market and double down on what's working for you.
Yes, definitely. Do you see that the same in different categories as well, like home and apparel, home goods, home garden, etc.?
Yeah, not I would say in apparel, and then like baby and pet products is where you see it the most, where people kind of like really find great kind of niches by going the high price way. When it comes to like a lot of generic, household goods that maybe are not as kind of like showy, or it's not as much of a status symbol and stuff, like that's where it's kind of harder to go like the high price. And so if you're not able to keep good profit margins at the lower price, you might have a kind of harder time, in some of those subcategories.
Yeah, that's very interesting, because our research find the babies and pets products actually are essential products, but adults apparels are not. So I guess the babies and pets are more important than us. So Channelle, so what do you think is happening in the fashion world, like the premium brands, the designer clothing or fast fashion? So how what do you see the trends and consumer behavior?
So as far as the trends, I feel like things are becoming a lot more comfortable, right? In 2020, when everything shut down, we were home for a long time. People started working from home, and that lasted for an extended period of time, right? So we got used to being in sweatpants, to being in hoodies. We got used to being comfortable. We got used to working from home, and that translated into our apparel. But now, even though the world has opened back up, essentially, people they figured out they really like being comfortable still, right? So even now that they're going back into the world, and a lot of people still are working from home, they're still shopping a similar way. They're like, I want apparel that's comfortable, but that's also stylish, right? So I may want a cute set, right? I may want cute loungewear, and things like that. So I've been seeing that trending more and more. And then you see like the big brands like Skims and things like that have made a ton of money off of loungewear. And you see a lot of brands following in that footstep because it has become the trend. People are looking to be stylish and comfortable, whether they're in the house, whether they're out the house, whether they're traveling.
Yes, definitely. I'm switching my apparel choices from like a super official and formal to like very casual, as well, just like what you said. And I have like maybe a black here, and I have like a pajamas pants. So it's all digitalized. So, and all of you guys, like a business coach, you help other people, and I know Rich, you have coached like over 100,000 students, in doing business and all that. So, for 2023, how do you help your students prepare for the potential, inflation, recession? What kind of strategies do you advise them?
I wouldn't necessarily say 100,000 students. I might probably have like 200,000 subscribers, but like students in general probably have like over 4,000 students.
Okay.
But
You are.
yeah, I just want to be transparent. But at the end of the day, it's really data. Like marketplace, if you're selling on a marketplace, there's two business models if you're selling direct to consumer in the apparel space. Like if you're selling on a marketplace, it's all about your graphic tees. It's all about doing research on which designs are trending, which phrases and all of that. And it's really fast paced. But with that alone, you really have to jump on it quick as soon as they come. You can use tools. You can use tools like Helium 10. You can use a free tool like Google Trends, see what's really popular, right? But you got to be really on it. But at the end of the day, you really have to create a a customer base, a foundation. So you want to sell on your own website. You want to create data that's your own true customers, because like on a marketplace, at the end of the day, you know, that's not your customer, that's Amazon's customers. You want something that you can retarget. You want to create that community where you can get in contact with them via Facebook or on Instagram if you're going live. And, you know, even like we have a lot of ups and downs in this industry. But like whenever the downs come, you want to make sure you're able to talk to your direct customers. So just having your own customer database is going to go a lot further than, you know, just trying to wing things across the way.
Yeah, definitely. You know, have direct access to customers, direct to consumer. It's definitely very critical. And we had another speaker before, and he sells bedding products, and you know, you would think people are just buying for one time. His customers actually repeat customers. I just don't get why. But you know, having that loyal base, you can help you turn into you know, increase your lifetime value of the customers, right? So and Bradley, so you coach business and, you know, 7-figure sellers all the time. So how would you advise people, you know, today in this new economic situation? And even Jeff Bezos said, right, you need to hold tight to your spending and, you know, be diligent. So how do you advise them?
Yeah. So, you know, it's not just consumers who are, you know, getting tighter with their wallets and stuff, but sellers have to do that as well. Business owners, you know, like, you know, maybe you're so profitable before that you could kind of, you know, hire staff that you really didn't need, and have, you know, a million subscriptions to things that you really didn't need. But it's getting more competitive, you know, because of the economy, but also because costs are rising. You know, like the cost to advertise on Amazon is, you know, for some people it's skyrocketing, you know, compared to a couple of years ago. And it is important to advertise on Amazon. Sometimes, you know, you can't even get, you know, where you need to go if you're not, you know, investing in advertising. You know, shipping costs, you know, keep going up. Storage costs are going up. You know, even storage at Amazon is going up. And so what sellers, and, you know, I tell people, and what, you know, they tell me of what they're doing, and I've had to do myself, because, you know, I run my own Amazon stores too, is that we got to see where costs can be cut, you know, without cutting the important things, which is you should never cut quality. You should never cut customer service. You know, you should never, you know, cut, you know, the kind of like product imaging and things like that. So it's like finding out how to save money. And all right, well, hey, you know, can I use automation? You know, is there something that maybe I was doing with my time, because time is money too, that I can like maybe outsource, you know, to somebody who is, you know, making less than I am as a business owner? Is there something I can have AI, you know, do? That's all the rage these days, is like utilizing Chat GPT and different things to automate different processes. And of course, you know, using tools like Helium 10 to take over a lot of the manual stuff that you do. So that's what's has to be done now in 2023, is you got to be how you manage your business, you know, from A to Z, not just the, you know, on the product side, but how you manage the back end of your business is going to be critical if you want to, you know, remain profitable.
Yes, definitely. I totally agree, and especially, you know, with today's technologies, a lot of things coming out, right? That, like you mentioned some of them. So streamline the process and operations and trying to be more efficient is very critical. Specifically regarding like Alibaba.com, because we help people with sourcing, and we're trying to do you know, better and better, and helping them save money and be more efficient and finding quality goods as well. So in terms of sourcing strategy, I would love for all of the speakers to kind of share your strategy, how to stay competitive by, you know, have a good sourcing strategy, and, you know, buying materials, buying raw materials, buying products, working with suppliers, etc. So who want to start? Bradley want to start?
Yeah, well, one thing that I think is important, that is kind of unique, is I mean, all the standard how to, you know, negotiate with suppliers, that's evergreen, that people are always need to do that. But is putting yourself in unique situations. And so one thing that can set you apart, that, you know, makes, you know, you have less competition, is like looking sometimes off of Amazon. maybe you're using Helium 10, look outside of Helium 10, look outside of Amazon for inspiration, like looking on, sometimes things on Etsy and Pinterest start selling and trending way before things are trending on Amazon. And another like kind of quick tip I have is when you're using Alibaba.com, let's say you're trying to source a product and then you find a factory and you're going to source that product. Something I always suggest people do is if you find a good supplier, go dig into their store on Alibaba.com or their storefront and then look at their other products. And 9 times out of 10, when I do that, like I find a supplier that's really good and maybe I'm going to go with them, maybe I'm not. But by going into their back end of the store, I always discover like new things. I was like, whoa, I didn't even know this existed. And then what I do is now I take that and then I go to Amazon or I go to Helium 10 and then I say, hey, is this a thing? Like, are people actually searching for this? And a lot of times I'm able to catch on like trends and things and products that, a factory in China or India developed that hasn't even hit yet. And so like, I'm not having to compete there. I can be one of the first to the market of something that people are searching for, but not, 50 people have and that I'm competing with. So that's like another way to kind of like make sure that you're a little bit ahead of the curve. And it's all, people think of Alibaba.com as only, hey, this is only where I'm going to find my sourcing and my supplier. I actually use Alibaba.com for product research as well in that sense.
Yes, definitely makes sense. And as you know, like some of the suppliers we have on Alibaba.com, they're actually very good market researchers as well. And they come to the US and they go to the events and trade shows, and they actually help our buyers, advise on the buyers on what's going to happen. One of the manufacturers I learned, they actually have a weekly brainstorming section. So they will come up with a new product idea that's in their KPI. So it's just like, oh my God, this manufacturer actually come up with all the new ideas, what they can do, and they share with buyers. That's just so amazing. So Channelle, how about you? So what is your advice on the sourcing strategy, for 2023?
So my advice on a sourcing strategy for 2023. So number one, having an audience that you can pull data from, right? So you want to find a balance between finding what's trending and what's gonna trend and surveying your audience or your target audience to find what they want. And then somewhere in the middle is where you'll be able to source your products, right? Now you'll be able to go out and reach out to suppliers and things like that, and get the items that you need. And I also am really big on attending trade shows, either in person or online, because at a lot of these trade shows, they have like trending events, right? They'll tell you what's going to be trending for the fall. They'll tell you what's going to be trending for 2024. There's things that you can subscribe to, at least in the apparel industry, that'll tell you what's going to be trending this season, next year. So you can also keep that top of mind as well. And then like Bradley was saying, a lot of the manufacturers and suppliers on Alibaba, they will let you know if you're looking at a certain style. A lot of the suppliers that I talk to, they'll say, hey, you should also check out this one, or hey, you should also check out this product to complement that. And I'll look at it, and if it makes sense, sometimes it's like, oh, that does really make sense. Let me add that as well, because my audience would love that. It complements this product perfectly, or I could see that will be trending soon, or something of that nature. But just keeping a good balance on what's going to be trending by looking at social media, the trade shows, things like that, and surveying your audience at all times has really been helpful.
Definitely. So, so for March Expo, which is opening today, we are showing millions of newly released products. So definitely make sure you click on the main page and check it out, and maybe there's some inspiration on the website. So, so Rich, I think one more last advice from the sourcing strategy.
For sure. So I can give you an advanced question. So, whenever you're like working with suppliers, you can ask them and say what's popular and whatnot, and then they will let you know. But sometimes this comes from the mass majority, and sometimes you want to ask like what's popular coming from a few buyers of yours, and sometimes some of these buyers are far more ahead than the mass majority. And then you can look at this actual product, and then you can take that same data and go to a marketplace and see what's so hot about this particular item, and it's not as many sellers on this. So that's how you can get that competitive edge on top of everything.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. And a lot of the buyers, they're like partners with the suppliers. They send, they talk all the time. So, getting insights and, experience from that definitely makes sense. So thank you. That's great advice from all the business coaches. And now I have a surprise for our audience, and we are super excited to welcome a supplier calling in from China.
Hi guys.
How's it going?
Thank you so much for joining us. It's 4 a.m. your time, right?
Yeah, it's a good early morning. Now it's almost 4 o'clock, but it's a good time. It's a really good time. So you guys here, and I just have a quickly. This just is interesting to me. You are discussing how to sourcing a supply or rebel store, but by my side, I always learn how to show myself to buyers. So it's really interesting to me.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And then Katie is the CEO of Jiangxi Gift In, a company that specializes in manufacturing uniform apparels and printing and a lot of products. And Katie will show us in a minute. And also, Katie is coming from Jiangxi province, right? Jiangxi province,
Yes,
and
yes.
which city are you coming from? We're calling
Nanchang City,
Nanchang.
the capital of Jiangxi province. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Not so many people know our city.
I think some of the audience may know because Nanchang is like an industry belt for some special apparel products, right?
Yeah. It's kind of based off the knitting wear in
Oh,
China.
wow. It's excellent. And I know, I don't know if our guest today, you have been to Asia or China or anyone. I know Bradley definitely been to Asia so many times, right?
Yeah, I haven't been to China. I'm actually going to Japan for 3 weeks in a couple of weeks, and I've been all over Asia. I've been to a few cities in China, but it's been years since I've been to China. So I look forward to finally being hopefully this year coming back. Maybe I'll visit. Maybe I'll visit you over there. I've never been.
Welcome to China this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Welcome, guys.
Now, Rich, have you been to China before?
No, I have not.
No, I haven't.
All right, let's do
got
a
you.
tourist group. I will join you as well. We're all gonna go with the KT in their place. So Katie, I would love to hear more about your company, your business, and how you work with buyers. Do you have something prepared?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Yeah, it's a good time to and it's also my honor to show. I was invited to show the some printing technology here, and for the past couple years, maybe 2 years, and there's another printing machine they call DTF. It's getting more and more popular on the garments industry. And so I want to introduce this tool technology of the printing. The TDG, I think many buyers already know it, but I'm demonstrate the different industry application in a garment factory. I just made a PPT for easily for us to understand. All right, this is the title: DGD and the TD for printing line demonstration. All right, and industrial application in a garment factory. And it will be 3 contents. Part 1 is our brief self-introduction. Who am I, and how can I support buyers to stay competitive in the apparel business? So it's just follow the topic you just discussing just now. So it's really exciting to talk about that. And part 2 is a customer case. I made a service story, and so I can bring on the industrial DDG technology to introduce how it can help on especially the fashion area, the fashion apparel. Okay, and the part 3 is the DTF. What is how he can help? Why he's so popular recently and more popular, and we show you how it works. So this is the 3 content. And the brief self-introduction, and my name is my English name is Kevin, and my last name is Tu. So the short name is KT. So you can easily for you to remember my name is KT. And this is our factory, and we are 9 years verified supplier, but it's a family business actually. It's almost 28 years since 1998. From my uncle, I take the management from my uncle, and my brother, he's basically more responsible on production. So I have more energy and more time on sales. It's also just learning. I'll introduce later how it comes out. This is just an overview. This is our workshop, and we own a printing line, and we invested in embroidery line, and we have the certificate of Disney and BSCI, and we have the whole part two parts. One is our production capacity, and one is our service capacity. So it's not easy for us because we've been manufactured for almost 20 years, and only to start to serve for international trade maybe only for 8 or 9 years. It's not easy for us, but we are keep learning.
Yeah, and also just to jump on, like the Disney authorized and NBA authorized licensing and vendor, that's actually quite special. That usually have a lot of certificates and requirement, right? Inspection,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah, have to. We
Yeah.
have to be audited to manufacture for them. All right. This is our main products line. The first one is the fashion brand support. This is especially we found recently a lot of retail seller from Alibaba.com, such as I heard Bradley refer to the Amazon seller. Right, there's also some of our customers they are Amazon seller, so it's they have their own brands, and they maybe start from very small quantity. So this is the how the buyers from the Alibaba.com now actually. The second one is the basic styles, the uniform, the team wear. And the third one is the sports fittings, and the last one is mainly we do B2B actually. So we support the business mainly, not so many small orders, but we definitely better to support local wholesaler or local service to support the local brands. It's better for us to hire the efficient. Okay, and actually it was lucky because I just come back from Las Vegas last week, and it's the Magic Show just finished 2 weeks ago, and it's been 3 years epidemic, so it's another feeling. So I'm saying just now, it's if you have not come to China, and it's also when we visit our customer. I also went to Los Angeles, Atlanta, and New York City. So everybody excited because it's so long time we didn't meet each other.
Yeah.
So it's really good. Yes, they are also desire to want to expand their products line. They want to develop more new items. They also want to see more supplier for new business. It's because the epidemic really changed a lot. But we desire to for the opportunity to develop more. So this is our booth, and we bring the baseball jacket and baseball jersey and jackets are very popular there. And actually, I found it's not so many buyers there this time. Maybe it's just the beginning. Maybe next in summer I will be there again. Maybe another year, and more buyers come back to the business.
Yeah, definitely.
And the one question I received a lot from the booth, from the show is, oh, where are you from? China? No, sure, I'm from China, right? But where are you located?
Where
All
really
right?
from?
So I usually answer the question twice. All right, the second answer is Nanchang City. Nanchang City. Well, somebody just need to think, oh, where's the Nanchang City? All right, actually, we are in the middle between Shanghai and Guangzhou, many buyers they went to Canton Fair, so they know Guangzhou well, and many buyers know Shanghai city as a big international city. So actually, we are in the kind of middle between these cities. From each cities, we take an hour flight or 3 hours high-speed train. So it's not so far, but we have the advantage of the labor cost and the material and the dyeing, because before, as I said, at the first 20 years, we were mainly the manufacturer. We produce garments for the trading company in Shanghai and Guangzhou. But now we just start to learn how to service our buyers. So it's a good opportunity as well. And it's just keep developing 80 years. And the platform is the online and offline platform. Alibaba and Alibaba.com is the main course. All right, and now we can do the whole service, including the shipping, the payment term, the developing things for our buyers. And we still keep improving, still keep learning, and to increase our efficiency of communication with the buyers. So we also want to know about more. So it's really exciting to see you guys discussing how to source, how to find a reliable supplier, how to developing more items. So this can help me to understand you well, and so I can support you better and better. This is the thing. And we also learn a lot from our customers, like video show and chat. Always video show and chat. I test a lot of I myself to be model a lot of times to test the samples and test the mass goods, how it look, how it fitting, and how we produce out all the mass goods. All right, and also to display more technology, more developing issues, and we also noticed them. Now more and more buyers, they are selling online, so they request faster and faster processes like sampling, like production, especially for the Amazon, because they usually start from maybe 15 pieces or hundreds pieces, but request a very quickly repeat order, very fast repeat order to deliver it, so can keep their sales constantly. Now we understand it's so important, so we need to improve the capacity of the faster production.
Hey,
And,
KT, I have a question for you.
yeah.
You mentioned before that you do a lot of streetwear and sportswear and professional wear, and I'm just curious for like your Amazon people who are selling on Amazon.
Yeah.
What's the biggest demand so far this year from those different types of apparel you're doing?
Actually, it you mean the items or the orders management?
Just like the people for your customers who are selling on Amazon.
Yeah.
What are they ordering? What kind are they ordering most from you? Like what's hot, you think, for 2023 for Amazon?
Now getting more and more like beach shirts, for like beach shorts, beach shirts, and the sublimation, because sublimation is our main seriously as well. So and more up for vacation. I think it's for vacation, for holidays, and I think people are going to go to travel a lot.
Yeah.
And this is one thing. And if you are referring the order management at the beginning, the most important is the quality. They do not want any return rate. It's really essential. So we have to enhance our quality inspection team.
And it definitely explains why the hotel's so expensive, right? Everybody is traveling now.
Yeah. For now, we can say that it's getting more. All right, so we continue.
And yeah, so Katie, thanks for explaining the working with Amazon sellers and social media sellers. Probably you offer a low MOQ to help them start the the first order.
Yeah. I'll explain later. Just why, because why DTF is coming out. That's the last part.
Excellent.
Last three. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is the brief introduction. So I hopefully I'm explaining me clear. All right.
Can you explain what's the DTG stand for?
Yeah. The DTG, the full name is directed to garments. Actually, in the first PPT, the shoes is directed to the garments. But when we say DTG here, I'll explain is different with we call typical traditional DTG. Actually, I'll explain later. All right. Now, as I explained, what we are doing now, and we do more supporting to train. To help to support our buyers from small to bigger, and also we support the big buyers, bigger wholesalers with more have to do more, such as design, developing support. We usually introduce more garments items for them to selection, as there's some other trend we know, and from the market. So we usually also introduce to our customers, and how logo conduct. You can see the wall behind me. There's actually a lot of different way of the logo come out, and we usually will advise how buyers can choose like screen printing or heat transfer printing or digital printing or embroidery. And conduct sampling for them to choose. And as I referred just now, more and more people they are selling online, so they also request a higher level of the packaging, not only just a normal bag, but also some high level brands they want to fancy packaging like a box, mailbox, or a printed box. This is the service we can support, and also the marketing support as we also support the local vendor, so we can do some support for them to show their customers to put their logo on all the like fabric books, like the logo indications. And the third one is pre-sale support. Actually, most people will focus on the payment term. They usually want the pay later because they need to sell all the goods to get the money. So we can also have the better support. And the technical support, so that's why I bring the DTG here, and it's already the newest, actually the latest, the printing technology to support a better design. And when buyer requests the DTG, this is the customer case. It's already happened. He said, first of all, at the beginning, when he sent the design artwork to me, and I indicated I made the sample with the liquid printing because it can be used with the automatic over printing machine. Thank you. And this is the first of all, I conducted the screen printing, but the buyer, this is the case from UK, a customer from UK of mine. He said on the right button is your printing, on the right is my printing, on the left is from Turkey. So I have a competitor from Turkey, but he always wants to do business with me. So he tell me all the information. He told me all the information. It's a proper digital printing with CMYK. By the way, but no added colors. It's not vibrant. So he told me it has to be DTG. But the traditional DTG is like this small machine. The famous brand is the Brother and the from Japan, the Epson. Usually we can say from a lot of local printing shop. This is the DPG. They do small orders or for some retailer seller. But for us, we definitely need a much higher production capacity. So the DTG I'm referring, it's actually we call a hybrid digital with automatic overprinting line. It includes the printer, the digital printer, and the automatic overprinting line. Anybody know this printing line? Everybody know this printing line? It's automatic, very fast. At least every day, maybe 6,000 pieces every day. All right, and and the traditional one, this one is quite slow. It's quite slow, almost takes 3 to 4 minutes one piece. So every day, just hundreds. It definitely cannot meet our requirement. So we developing new technology. We combine these two machines, so we can make this fancy printing and with high speed. We can make at least 2,000 pieces every day with one line. So I can show a video. I can show the video of the how it works.
Awesome.
Yeah, Jesse, could you help? No, not this one. Not this one. This is the DTF. This is the DTF. Jesse is another one. Yeah, another video. Sorry, just too many. Just too many.
So Rich, what is thinking? I see you're thinking, you're printing wow. So I'm gonna buy this machine. I'm gonna.
No, it's just awesome to watch. I know what KT's saying. Basically, like they just use a DTG, like screen printing hybrid setup. So it's still just as fast as screen printing, but instead of using multiple different screens for different colors, we're just pretty much the pre-treatment and the full color print is all in one. So that's pretty sick. One question I did have is, as far as DTF, are most people ordering actual transfers itself or the end product?
Sorry?
Like when it comes to DTF, like are most people ordering the DTF transfers or are they ordering like the end product?
Yes. DTF is for transferring. It's for transferring.
Yeah, but are most customers ordering the actual transfers or are they ordering like an end product like printed with the DTF?
DTF, we usually do two kinds of business. The mainly now we provide the blank garments like t-shirts or the hoodies, something, and they can do DTF by themselves if they are the local printing shop, because it's easy for them to make this film. They just need the blank one to make out the to print out. Am I clear?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so some of them are just ordering transfers so that they can press it themselves.
Yes, and but they order the blank garments from us.
Oh, the blanks too. Okay.
Yes. Or Jess, could you show the video? I'm not sure.
Yes, it's coming up. Yep. While we're waiting, we have a lot of audience asking where to find your store, so we'll drop the link in the comment.
Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, the video. You want to play it again, Jess? Okay.
A little stuck there.
No, yeah. So the audience asking your store, so we will drop your website in the comments.
Job site.
No, your website. We will leave your website in the comment because our audience is asking.
Okay. Sorry, I asked my colleague to follow up.
While we're watching the video.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
Let's start there. You can see it's actually the print works. They have the white ink first, and then print the image on the white ink, and then to dry it. All right. This is a DTG, direct to garment, and I explain why this technology is developing. because why people choose this technology to print out their design. All right, the video don't work maybe.
Yeah.
So anyway, we back to PPT first, and I'm explaining why. I'm explaining why.
Wow.
This is the mass goods we are doing for our customer, right? It's already finished. The order already finished, and we can see there's so many different colors. If we do traditional screen printing, it will be cause the problem of the different layers. If you know the screen printing, it will be the difference between like such as the white one and the purple one and some yellow one. It will not be so full image and it will be mass. I can show you another example. For example, this is the last order, the last order actually. You can see the red one covered the yellow one. So it's use the DTG can show the whole image with the full image fusion. So it's the pixel level. I marked down it in yellow color. All right, so the DTG is getting more and more popular, and this item we also facing another two challenge. One is because there's a pocket here, and the printing is across the pocket. The traditional machine cannot solve it, so have to be the new technology to cross the pocket, because the sprayer over the different height will up to at least 3 mm. Hopefully you can understand this. This is just a technology actually. All right. Second one is the washing effect, because it has to be stable after stone wash. All right. I'll make this fast quickly. Okay. Just explain you. This is why it's getting more and more popular, especially for streetwear. If any buyer want to develop better streetwear, this is big image printing. Use this new technology will be definitely enhance the whole product, and I will show you. And our buyers love it, and their fans love it. All right, I can show the next one. There's a.
So Katie, someone asked, what kind of materials do you use for the printing to have a good look?
The material of this hoodie is the 100% cotton, 480 gram thickness GSM. It's very heavy and it's very popular in UK actually. And you can see the sales. Congratulations for the big sale. The pre-sale sold out 70 minutes for 7,171 pieces. All right, and the official sale is December. We sell 20,000 pieces in total in one day, and also another job. And this is what I test. This is on me. I test. I was modeling for them, and this is the buyers. This is the fans. They post their hoodies in Instagram. All the fans love it. So this is the example how this be more and more popular. This is the case. Hopefully, is you have any question on this case?
Looks pretty good.
Thank you. And that's why we can support our buyers. We grow up with them together. They start from 500 pieces actually, but but the biggest order they place to me is over $1 million, 90,000 pieces of hoodies, and they sell very well.
Mm-hmm. And you also have something you want to show us, putting a logo.
Yeah. Now is the DTF printing tool. All right. Okay, this is the last part, and the DTF, it means actually it's the directed to film. So it's come to a special film. Now I just please have to turn on the camera of my colleague in the workshop now. Yeah, the process is around 4. Print out on the film. I just received the artwork from Channelle, and your logo is already in our computer. So he's checking your artwork first. So your logo, and then put on the printer to print out onto film. All right, just turn on your logo.
Now,
I love
exciting.
it.
Love it. While we're waiting, so Kevin will get a lot of questions for you. Awesome.
Yeah.
While people are asking,
Yeah, I need to.
for link.
Yeah, I need to turn on my TM, I think.
Don't worry. While we're waiting and see how you print this logo, someone asked, can you print DTG all over print? Like the garment is covered in print 100%. Can you print DTG on top of that?
Yeah, if it's flat enough, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a good question. That's a good question. Another one is normally all over print has a high MOQ. So the audience is wondering if you can do it with a low MOQ using DTG.
Yeah, DTG and DTF solve the MOQ issues.
Okay,
Actually, it's actually start from hundreds per
Oh,
design.
hundreds? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
This is your logo, Channelle, right?
Yes.
Well, we need to authorize us to print it for the showcase. Awesome. And also someone shout out to Kevin, KT, and thank you for joining us so early. And someone's also shouting out to Rich. What's up, Rich?
It's my pleasure.
And you guys, yeah, because Rich.
Yeah, we are getting more and more advantage to support the new brand. New brand. We call us brand builder. We support the brands from new to being bigger, and we encourage your local vendor. You can contact with your local influencer if he has fans enough, maybe even like 1,000, 10,000 fans, can make a lot of money from that, and fans will love it. Because fans buy it because they have the face on their influencer. They love it actually. We can say a lot of. I usually say a lot of feedback from on Twitter and Instagram. They just love it, and they just love to poll, and they are also proud of them.
Yeah. And we get like another fan just called out to Rich. You need to send out free T-shirts for the audience. It was the best. Yeah, awesome.
All right, he's still with. I ask him to be quicker. Maybe he's not weak enough.
We ready?
Yeah, now it's okay. Turn on the printer machine. So now it's print. The sprayer is working. Now this one is only for sampling. 2 heads. One is a white ink. Another one is colorful ink. So we have a faster machine, 4 heads, 8 heads to make more film.
Wow, it's cool. And I love it. You always help the buyers get the best results. You help them understand what they need and then give them recommendations. That's super helpful for the buyers.
Yeah, we just realized maybe also in China, also maybe all over the world, the young people, especially the young people, they would love to buy garments online more than they go to like supermarkets, maybe like Walmart or Macy's. I'm just it's getting to us more and more.
Yeah.
This is two
wow.
pieces in one.
Awesome.
So there's a special film on the bottom. So the sprayer just spray the image on the film directly. So it's called DTF. And covered with white ink, and then come with the glue powder. So after the transfer, it goes to t-shirts. This is really good for. Just can you help to back to my PPT? So what I can explain. Yeah, I can explain. The TDF is many more advantage to help faster sampling, because before if we make sample with screen printing, we need to make the film, we need to make the mold. It will usually take at least 2 or 3 days, and prepare the ink, find the right color, and usually we adjust to the Pantone color. But with the DTF, we only do 10 minutes. So this is the very different.
Yeah.
All right.
An audience asking, do you also make the fabric too, right? So you make the fabric, the clothes, and also print on this. So this whole one-stop shop.
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. The fabric, Nanjing City is actually the complete industry for the garments, for the knitting garments mainly, for the knitting garments, yarn, and then knitting and dyeing, and then to the fabric is the whole process.
Yeah, and also you're in the industry belt for this garment and fabric and apparel, so that's a very strong supply chain behind you as well.
Yes, because the industry here is quite strong.
You can just go
not for all. Yeah, not for all fabric, because we have to be more professional or have advantage for some fabric. Actually, now more and more cotton fabric already go to Bangladesh. Actually.
Do you also print on bags, cotton bags, or just on apparel?
No, we can print on the bags, but we do not produce bags. Sorry.
Okay. No, but you can, like, they can send over the bags from a different factory for you to print on this, right?
Sure. Cool. This DTF can be on bags, on marks even.
Awesome.
Okay, this is the formula is just for sampling, and the behind one is just to make it move smoothly.
That's awesome. Looks great. And this is actually really convenient. It just, the customers can send you the file and digitally, and then you can print it right away. It's just print on demand.
Yeah, and it's actually not the different as the formal heat transfer. It's much softer. It's much softer and breathable. It's before the heat transfer printing is really uncomfortable, but now the DTF is actually very soft. You can see.
Excellent.
We also do these things for our customer. You can put your logo here, and we can help you to your customers.
Oh my goodness. The customers can outsource a lot of work to you.
Yeah.
Not just the manufacturing, printing, they can actually help. You can help them do the marketing material.
Yes, we do marketing support.
Oh, it's really good to hear. And sometimes buyers don't realize they can they can get your help on things that usually could take lots of effort and money.
Yeah. Also, we also sometimes, because our customers sells online, we also take photos of the product for them in China because it's much cheaper here.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. You can take photos and maybe do some
Yeah.
graphic design for them, getting product ready. And also you work with licensed products. And so you have all the process for inspections for Disney and NBA and all this, licensed products as well. And I know that's really painful sometimes for inspections. So yeah, that's awesome to know.
Yeah, because there's a customer in Canada. They all of their sales are selling online. They are so busy, and they are too busy to arrange the taking photos. So one time I noticed that the photos on they are selling now is not so good. I think it's they just took the photos so rushly. So we provided the photos, we arranged the photos here in China, and it's cheaper and faster. And then they just love it, and it's much more clean.
That's excellent. Yeah, I can see this machine is, watching this making and printing process just make you so relaxed. It's just so plays all day long.
It's just for sampling, but actually, when the mass production is like fight, it's like fight.
Yeah.
It's like war.
Yeah.
Because always need to be
Yeah.
quickly.
Next
Because
time we
now-
live stream the machine.
Because at this moment they only have this one job, this one job, because now it's 4:30 o'clock.
Yeah.
After 8 o'clock they have to be work more harder.
Yeah, we, sometimes it's not, we don't see all the behind the scenes. I know it's a lot of work and effort putting into that, and, getting on the show, and it's, we really appreciate it. But just the machine itself, watching that, we should just live stream that 24/7 for people who work in the fashion or e-commerce space. It's just so stressful, right? Bradley,
Yeah. Especially when our customer, when the buyer told me, all right, the pre-sale day is set down, the official sale day is done, and we also do the DDP shipping. We also arrange shipment to their warehouse.
Yeah.
So the timing schedule, wow, it's really anxiety. Many, the whole, it influences hundreds workers in our factory.
Yeah. Wow. So we have another question for you, KT. So what is the shipping time usually like once the product's done, and then shipped to US warehouse? How long is the shipping today?
Usually, now we request ourselves. We have a target to do the samples within 3 days, and the mass production for this kind is very quickly. For usually for hundreds of pieces, we manage to finish like within 2 weeks or 2 weeks, around 2 weeks, and 1 week for delivery. This is for small order. And for big order, such as 10,000 pieces with DTG, and we managed to finish the production within 1 month, 25 days, and then 1 week to do all the customs, waiting for the vessels, and the fast shipping to Los Angeles is another 12 days. So basically, to US should be within 2 months, around 50 days. By sea. If by air, it's 3 weeks. Am I clear?
Yeah. Yeah, and also, depends on the time, right? Sometimes shipping can take longer. So for the buyers and audience, make sure you communicate with supplier like KT and have that, it's not always the same, right? Make sure you talk to suppliers and get the accurate expectation. Because sometimes
this year will be better. Last year was disaster of shipping.
Yeah, exactly. And I work with a lot of buyers who kind of set up the expectations wrong, and they kind of always in a hurry to do things that have to use air freight, and that have to change their plans. So yes, definitely.
That's the glue powder. That's the glue powder. So to cover the white ink.
Oh wow.
So the film will have the glue on it, and then by heat transfer to the t-shirts.
Yep. Awesome. Just
okay. I'll ask them to be faster.
No worries. While we're waiting, we can go through some of the questions, Q&A section.
Okay.
So someone's asking, just want to make sure I get this question correctly. Is DTF for active appeals, or I don't know if it's active apparels?
It's for peel, for peel after transfer, peel off.
Got it. Yeah. It's the DTF for active appeals, right?
I'm not sure what the meaning of the appeals.
I think they mean active apparel. Like DTF is you can usually apply it to most garments. I think most transfers, they used to think like you can only apply it to 100% cotton, but they're probably asking if they can apply it to spandex or polyester.
Yeah. It's workable. Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Thanks. It's good to have.
Thanks.
It's very technical. I think you mentioned it, but someone's also asking what is the quantity requirement in MOQ, and you mentioned a few hundreds for DTF, right? Okay. What about the other method? What is the MOQ? It's the same.
Basically, if the buyers assign the color of the garments, such as except the white and the black, such as the green, navy, the popular color, it will request the MOQ on dyeing. The dyeing the fabric at least usually like 500 kg. Kilogram. So usually the quantity for the t-shirt will be 1,200. For hoodies, at least 800 pieces. All right. If you can accept our blank inventory, a stock one, because we have also a lot of stock items, and we do higher level of the stock, the blank garments. There's no MOQ actually.
Okay. Oh wow, that's really good to know. Something already ready to go. Yeah. So as audience is asking for, I think it's for us, where this recording will be. So we will have a recording. We'll post it on our website, on Alibaba.com, and also on social media. So definitely, we will keep in touch and follow our social media, and you will see the recording. And someone thank you.
Okay. We also provide the footage, the video footage to our buyers.
Okay.
They usually love to share the production process of their products on their account, so their fans can see how these products came out.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and you can also just call KT through the chatting function. He's available 24/7 for our buyers.
It's all right.
I was like, it just coordinate the time.
No worry.
Yeah.
No worry. Now, the most difficult thing is I located in Nanjing. It's difficult for me to hire and train sales girls. The merchandise girls. It's not easy as in Shanghai and Guangzhou. Because our city is not a big city as the Shanghai city.
Yeah, don't worry.
But we have a team now. But they're just getting busy.
Yeah, that's good. So this is the question I think for our guest speakers. How do you kind of set your quality standards? Because I don't think there's any industry code for quality, right? So there are people looking for premium quality for higher price, and people looking for more kind of fast fashion, maybe will be cost efficient, but it's very different. So how do you usually kind of set your standard for quality, and how do you make sure the supplier can meet your standard?
Yeah, it's usually we distinguish with what is the purpose of the garment. If it's the brand, if it's the fashion brand, the only standard is if I were the consumer, would I buy it? If I could pay with my card. That is the standard. So this is for retail sale. But we also do a lot of teamwear for some events or for some club. They just want some customer, some buyers just want a cheaper one, lower price. Basically, we do not do the cheapest garments. There's at least we don't want any complaint. We don't want any products return.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I
So-
agree 100% because I know a buyer who is selling uniforms for boys clubs and sports good, and wow, let me tell you, those boys just they don't want they need high quality that can just be tortured and all those clothes. So yeah, they definitely are looking for high quality as well. And
Yeah.
so Rich. And Rich, how do you usually set your standard for the product quality? Like, how do you there's no industry standard, right? You just have to make your own standard.
Yeah, well, now it's more known. It's a more known thing from the consumer base. It's like how thick is the weight of the actual garment. So GSMs has been like a big popular thing lately. I know KT was talking about like 400 GSMs. Like now, most customers in the US don't really know the difference between like a 320 and a 400, but like a 320 is like a real nice thick weave. And even in the athletic department, like most people want their jerseys to last for a long time. So now they're asking for a thicker GSM for polyester as well. So just letting them know how like tightness the weave is like how much they think the quality and how long the actual garment will last them.
That's awesome. That's really good to know. So that's a good answer for our audience. That is a quality standard codes. And Channelle, do you have any like a standard how you choose the quality?
Let me unmute myself. So not really for I would say it's just a matter of getting the samples, right? Getting the samples, having models try them on, putting it through the wash, and then dealing with a manufacturer that has their own quality assurance, right? So they do certain tests on the products and everything that they sell. But doing both of those and just being my own customer, I know what quality my customer is looking for, and I know how much they're willing to pay for it. And then sometimes it's a trade-off. If a certain quality costs a certain amount, can we lower it a little bit to make this a little bit more affordable, but it's still a good quality, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of knowing your customer, knowing what they're looking for, what's most important to them, and how much are they willing to pay for that.
Yep. Sounds good. Yeah, definitely. I think those are great answers. I combine both feedback. And also, KT, you are you're the second generation of this business, right?
Yeah,
you have been in this business for a long time. And I think you have been on Alibaba for 8 years, you mentioned. So how did you guys evolve over the 8 years? There must be a lot of changes. It was like traditional kind of business, right? Now it's all digital e-commerce. So how did you develop your manufacturing kind of capacity and solution service in the past few years? I would love to hear.
No, it's really difficult actually. It's really difficult. It's not easy, because before we are now I need to explain to you the label situation in China now. The one thing is usually when I manage the factory, the production, the most difficult is the workers. All right, the workers always want to just work in there, sew in the machine. All right, just operate the machine, no stop. All right, they hate small orders. They hate small quantity. They really hate a small quantity because if the small quantity, if a different color, they have to change the shreds. They have to change the shreds every maybe something already on the machine, maybe just a few hundreds. When he already get used to that, she have to change it. So it's really difficult to manage them. And before, the only way to calculate their salary is by pieces. All right, counted by pieces. How many pieces they sold? So how much salary they can get. All right, and if we slow down their movement, their income will slow down. So they really hate it. Okay, this is the one thing. And the second thing is I need to support from the all accelerators and the subcontractors as well. Like the dyeing. Okay, before we dye every order like 10,000, 20,000 pieces, one color. All right. Now I ask them to bring more small hoops for small orders, for small quantities, and the process is the same. The process between the big order and the small order is the same. All right. This is so I also need to get support from all the subcontractors. The third one is actually I have no energy and I have no team at the beginning to manage how to. Okay, just now, as I said, it's interesting to me. We are discussing how to sourcing a supplier. And at the beginning, we are learning. We work so hard to learn how to show us on Alibaba.com. It's the same thing. I need to learn how Alibaba works, how what's the buyer thinking, and how it's going on. So it's kind of really difficult at the beginning. All right. So we make the way. We think about it. Now still in our city, still a lot of factories are now they already get the film. Channelle, you can see your logo is on the film already.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's the sister. Okay, all right, and so I have to spare myself from the production management firstly. So I learn how to post the products on Alibaba first. All right, I learned the rules of the website, the all the way of the mind of the e-commerce. I learn first, and then depart myself to each part. Okay, now you know. Okay, now I train somebody to. Okay, now they use a heat transfer machine to put the film. This is the black one, so I think you should use the white one first.
No, it's good. We are all black today, so
I think
Yeah,
because mockup is the only white T-shirt. All right, so I divided myself to several parts. All right, when I learned how to operate a store on Alibaba, I teach a girl like Cora. Okay, Cora is my colleague. Okay, how to post a product, how to advertise our products, how to buy the key words to show ourselves. Okay, and then I get a sales girl, and I taught her how to communicate with the buyers, how they could thinking. All right, and then I trained our merchandiser how to follow up, how to do the order management, how to control the quality and the delivery time. So
wow.
it's kind of these things. It's actually take a long time.
Wow. Yeah,
It's
there's
not easy.
yeah. You know, that just sounds like us, right? We all it's like a learning. All the speakers today, they have shared their learning experience as well.
Yeah, it's
Well,
all about learning.
it's like how
Yeah,
I
but,
do Amazon.
yeah, but I love it. I can keep myself young. I think so.
Yeah.
I'm younger than I'm older, much slower than my uncles. I think because they manage a factory too much, so they older faster than me.
Yeah. Wow. I think we're getting wow. Awesome.
Yeah, you can see this is the
that's great.
15, I think 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes because
Yeah,
at the first
yeah.
we need to warm
That's
the
awesome.
machine. Yeah.
Well, we'll arrange to ship it to you, Channelle.
Yeah, okay, just ship you now. You can just
Yeah.
send your address. I send to you now. Maybe after 3 days you get it on Monday. You get it on Monday.
It
Not
looks
the only thing
great.
between us is the
I
shipping.
love it.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely, Channelle. We'll arrange it. I will send it to you.
Yay.
Oh, it's cute. It's really nice. Thank you so much.
This is on white, white on black T-shirt. So usually we all provide more options for our buyers, and also we prepare the sports one and the hoodies. I can also ship you together. So maybe you need to order the sports T-shirt and the hoodies.
Well, yeah. So Bradley is a Dodgers fan, unfortunately. So we can send you some logos. But we
Sorry.
can print
It's,
Dodgers.
it's production is boring, you know. It's actually
Yeah, we can
sometimes
print
for you
those.
maybe it's boring, but for us it's regular.
Yeah.
It's regular
No, yeah,
life.
we cannot print those, but we can print like a Bradley or something for Hamilton. So anyway, we appreciate it, Katie. It was a really, really interesting, and thanks for joining us again at so early.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, so we have a lot of questions to come into you. We'll have people. So for the audience, please click on the link in the comments so you can go directly to the store. And if you have any inquiries, questions, just send over through the messaging on Alibaba.com, and Katie will have the people respond to you ASAP. Is this all the printing, or do you have anything more? That's it, right? Or
Yeah, and there's maybe next time I show another logo indicator. There's so many. We have so many.
Yes, yeah,
There's so
definitely.
many different ones.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, for the time being, we're gonna just end the show. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll see you soon, Katie. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. Good night. Good night. I'm going to sleep now.
You're so charismatic. You should have a show or something, like the pain point of working with Alibaba buyers or something. That can be interesting.
It's good. No problem.
Right. Bye.
So that's the sports T-shirt I also ship to you, okay? Sports one, the hoodies.
All right. So we have been through the Q&A section. Oh, this yellow one looks pretty good too. I like that.
This is a running T-shirt.
Oh, wow.
I can see the elastic.
Awesome. Well, Channelle can wear that to her yoga class next time. Thank you. So we are going to the bottom of the hour, and we're ending the show very soon. And again, this is a March Expo opening day. And feel free to click the link and check out what we're offering today. We have millions of new products showing. And also, before I end the show, I love for each speakers to give one final advice for our audience. So shall we start with Bradley? So one final advice for our small business owners or Amazon sellers, one advice.
Well, just, the advice is that even if you do all of the right things, a lot of the things we talked about today, a lot of the things the other panelists talked about today, there's still no guarantee for success. Like you could still have a product that fails. You could lose money, but the kind of like persona of the people who win in the long game are the people who don't give up. So it's like, hey, follow the data, like we said today, do all the right things, but understand that sometimes it might not work out as well as you thought, even if you did all of the right things, but just have that drive to keep going. And just, keep taking in knowledge. Rich here has a YouTube channel, and there's podcasts out there. I just recorded one with Min. You guys can check it out. Serious Sellers Podcast. You can learn all about how wild animals were attacking Min's pets before. So just check that episode out from this weekend. But podcast, YouTube, I mean, there's so much free information out there for whatever, whether you're into Amazon, obviously you would go to my podcast. If you're into apparel, you go to Rich's YouTube channel. There's podcasts, there's YouTube channels, there's Instagram, there's TikTok, there's everything out there. So make sure to take in the knowledge, but don't get analysis paralysis where you just don't do anything with this knowledge. Just act on it. And yeah, that's my advice for everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much. And what if our audience want to follow you? What is your handle on social media? And also the Helium 10 site, is there like a code or anything?
Yeah, so you can follow me. The Instagram I use is just for the podcast. It's Serious Sellers Podcast. And so you can follow me there on Instagram and message me there as well. And then if people are interested to learn how to sell on Amazon, or you're already selling on Amazon, just go to Helium 10 Alibaba.com, and you can sign up for a free account. And if you want to get to one of the regular accounts, just use the code SSP10 SSP10, and that'll save you guys. That'll be a special code for the listeners today.
Thank you so much. And we'll also drop Bradley's social media links in the comment as well. Thank you, Bradley. And then Channelle, final advice for our audience.
So my final piece of advice would be, so today we walked you guys through how to source products on Alibaba, how to find winning products, right? Good products for your store. So the amount of time and effort you put into finding these winning products, make sure you put the same amount of time and effort into marketing those products, right? Because winning products, they won't serve you any purpose, the best products, if no one knows about them, right? So if you need to learn ads, if you need to learn how to work with influencers, whatever you need to do to get exposure for your brand so that people can actually buy your winning products.
Thank you. So how can our audience follow you on your social media or website?
Sure. So on Instagram, I'm just the Millionaire Moms Club. And then my website is the same exact thing. It's themillionairemomsclub.net.
Sounds good. I would definitely take your lessons too. Try to be a
Thank
millionaire
you.
there. So we'll also drop the links in the comments. And finally, Rich, final advice.
For sure. So I love what Bradley said. He said analysis paralysis. I used to not even know what that meant. Like I used to have my own coin term. I used to call it startup anxiety. It's like whenever you go on the internet, you seek for information and you kind of get overwhelmed by everything. You want everything to be so perfect whenever you first start that you don't even start because you're scared of making mistakes. So the most important thing is starting and then polishing it off, like with the questions that may happen along your journey, instead of going on the internet and searching for answers for questions that you may not even have yet. So that was an important step for me, was just like going ahead and launching and making those initial mistakes. Of course, you're going to lose money along the way. Of course, like, everything has a risk to it. But, if you don't learn from those risks, then you won't even be able to go to step ahead. So just being able to make those few steps and understanding that you make mistakes, then you have data to correct from that point. You can't just go out and win from the very beginning.
Excellent advice. So how can our audience follow you? What's your social media?
So you can follow me on Instagram as Rich_Khun, KHUN, and then you can follow me on YouTube at Hustle Ninjas. Excellent.
Well, click on those links in the comments. Wow. Well, this is the end of today's event. It's super exciting, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today's the opening day of March Expo, and hopefully everybody can find some inspiration on Alibaba.com. Well, thank you for your time. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.